The top two running backs have identified themselves. Jeremiah Love is definitely the number one. We've known that. But M. Wash might be the clear-cut running back two coming out of the combine. A guy we've talked about the last handful of days and weeks, saying that don't discredit this kid, Mike Washington. He might end up being one of the sleepers that could climb up into the tier right below Jeremiah Love. And boy, did Washington do that. These are the top two running backs, probably by far. We still like Price. Price had a real good field day. So Price did a good job today. But this man right here, standing ovation for Jeremiah Love, showing up and doing the combine when he didn't have to at all. This is the kind of player I want on my team if I'm an NFL GM. And he could go as high as 3. The combine talk right now and buzz is that the latest he'll fall is 10 or 9 to the Chiefs. He'll go 9 or he'll go 3. He'll go somewhere in between, but he's not slipping out of the top 9, according to the combine buzz. M. Wash, the new emoji for Mike Washington is going to be this soap for Washington. This guy has climbed massively in the past hour. You're probably not going to see him fly under the radar anymore. We discussed him over the last handful of days and weeks. And to be honest, he even impressed me beyond belief today. And the way he looks, the way he runs, was the fastest running back in this draft class. You can see the scores right here. 4.33 for Mike Washington Jr. 4.36 out of Jeremiah Love. These are in Price, 4.49. Price is probably solidifying himself. I love Emmett Johnson still, but Price is solidifying himself probably as the third back at this point in time amongst the NFL teams, and that's important because that means landing spot. But this right here, ladies and gentlemen, these are the top two rookie running backs walking out of the combine and walking into 2026 as of right now. This moment in time, the Fantasy Football Show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Underdog ADP is going to skyrocket. And he's not going to fly under the radar. He's going to be the most trendy conversation and topic. But sometimes when that happens, people have a natural instinct to be like, now I want out because, the stock has climbed. The ceiling is still so much higher than what it is showing right now. So make sure you understand you're still at the beginning stages of grabbing this kid at floor value. His ceiling value is untapped. Jeremiah Love, as I came out not only all offseason, but about 24 to 48 hours ago, did a video on how he's my running back 3 in Dynasty. Not rookies, number 3 overall Dynasty running back. That he might be my number 3 running back in redraft, 3-4. And I wanted that on record a good 24, 48 hours before the combine took place so that you guys, A, so we had it on record, B, so you can make as many draft pick trades as you can walking into the combine so that walking out, you don't see Jeremiah Love untouchable. But what I told you was going to happen, happened. Jeremiah Love went out there and not only solidified himself as a top 10 pick, but now the combine buzz is that he will not fall past 9, Kansas City. He will not fall out of the top 9, and he might go as high as number 3 overall. The value and buzz around Jeremiah Love right now is so great, you'll probably not be able to get to 1.1 anymore. Anybody that has the 1.1 is like living on cloud 9 right now. And this is why the video was created. This is why the Jeremiah Love is number 3 redraft and number 3 dynasty running back, is to scare the hell out of some of you that were kind of dragging your feet on making that trade offer that would have landed you the 1.1. Now the 1.1 is as good as gone. As for Washington, this kid is remarkable. And here are some of the numbers here. 4.33, 10-yard split, 1.51. Vert, 39. Broad jump, 10.8. The kid's a truck at 6'1", 223. Arm length 33, 5'8". Hands 914. This guy's a monster. This guy is a monster. He will take your lunch money and he won't give it back. And this kid over here, Jeremiah Love, we've all known about. Obviously, 6 foot, 212, perfect size. Both these guys are perfect size, traditional NFL running backs. This is what you want. These are what I talk about when you look at a player and you say, damn, they just have that structure, the bone structure, the ability to be that fluid running back at the NFL level. There's smooth operators. There's no wasted movement. All those things add up when you say eyeball test and people go, oh, your gut instinct eyeball test, huh? It's such a thing that you hone in on. And over 20 plus years of doing college scouting, 19 years of radio before YouTube, talking about rookie running backs, scouting rookie running backs, breaking down the profiles. I've been doing this 20 plus years, 2 decades. And these guys are as fluid as they come. I've said this several times over the last handful of months. This is Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs combined. Not saying that he's as good as both of them combined, just the combinations of different things. His spin move, his quickness. He's got that Jahmyr Gibbs quickness. He's got the move and fluidity of a Bijan Robinson. And he can be every bit as good. There's no question in my mind that the potential's there for him to be the number 1 running back in the league. I do have him number 3. I have Gibbs and Bijan ahead of him, but in 1 calendar year, it will not be shocking at all if he's 2 or 1 or staying at 3. P. Wash, big sleeper of ours walking into today, and that's done. There's no more sleeper. I say P. Wash, M. Wash. There's no more sleeper M. Wash conversation anymore. The cat's out of the bag. I love this kid. You want to know what running back I love? You're going to hear so much of that. The cat is out of the bag. M. Wash is going to the moon. In fact, let's put him there now.
The moon men dropping loads in outer space.
Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy.
Drop a Wash emoji in the live chat. Just type in Wash, you'll see it. I want it raining M. Wash emojis for the next, 30 seconds at least. These two are by far and away the top 2 running backs coming out of this combine. And I don't just say that in terms of their workout. I mean, they come out of the combine ranked as the number 2 RBs for me, clear as day. Price is right up there. Love me some Price. Still looks good. Still love Emmett Johnson. Jonah Coleman's still interesting. But this has been the M. Wash and Jeremiah Love combine. And their speed, their scores. Like, if you look at some of this stuff, like Mike Washington's speed score was, I believe, 126.8, which I believe is in the top 99 percentile. His burst score was the top 99 percentile. This guy is not just coming in as a sleeper, doing pretty well. And Travis and I have talked about him about 5 different occasions over the last maybe week on the show. Washington, First I've heard of him. Then you haven't been watching this channel, Colin. Welcome back. Please watch every night. That way you don't miss out. Might have to give him a look. My boy, Colin, this is for your own good, bro. You might have to give him a look. Yeah, maybe, Colin.
Take a big lap.
Go get a coffee, then come back. Maybe, Colin. The show, the whole show title and everything dedicated to him. You might want to give it a look, a little test drive. Give it a little spin. I watch, but not religiously. That needs to change, Colin.
You've just been Smitty approved.
You watch, I'm going to put it on my Instagram later. You watch the side-by-side of Bijan, Saquon Barkley, and Jeremiah Love run the 40, and you see Jeremiah Love edge both of them out. And it's just, this guy is Saquon Barkley meets Jahmyr Gibbs meets Bijan Robinson. And he's a top 3 mother-freaking running back in the National Football League almost near instantly.
Let him cook. To the moon.
The Jupiter men. Jupiter is
Love.
so large.
Jupiter.
The moon
M.
man,
Wash.
dropping loads
Moon.
in outer space. To the moon.
M. Wash. Moon.
To Jupiter.
Love Jupiter. That's it. Plain and simple. We could end the show right here. It's that simple. Running back 2, running back 1, done. Price, landing spot's going to determine a lot. Emmett Johnson, landing spot's going to determine a lot. There's a couple other running backs that are pretty solid in this class for sure. Jonah Coleman. There's lots of upside for some of these guys. But this guy impressed so much, a team's going to give him a chance to be their starting running back. That's what's so impressive about Mike Washington's debut here for the world, for people like Colin. No offense, Colin, you don't have to be a religiously. I'm not trying to pick on you. We love you, pal. I just part of the reason you want to be here is so you have those nuggets ahead of time. The Jeremiah Love buy low, buy the 1.1 in a draft. That's done. That's done. No one's getting the 1.1 anymore. All right, phone lines are open briefly.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Oh, God. M. Wash just blew the combine out of the water. And it's like and so did Love. If M. Wash didn't blow the combine out of the water, we'd be talking about Jeremiah Love even more. But he didn't overshadow Love. They were like neck and neck the whole way. But doing so, clinging yourself to Jeremiah Love, this man broke down after his 40 time. And I don't blame him, man. Because the amount of emotion involved in going into this, your career's on the line, you're underrated, you're outside everybody's top 5 running backs, but you're in the 6 to 10 range for sure. And you're outside everybody's top 5 running backs. You walk in and you go stride for stride and then overtake Love in some of the categories. And you just made your way. You just paved your way. How proud this kid is about taking this moment in time, being 6 to 10 on the board for every team in the National Football League, and probably becoming number 2. I'm sure some teams still have Price 2. I'm sure some teams have the values a little different. But for the most part, consensus-wise, this man climbed into the number 2 running back spot. And if a team doesn't feel that way, that team is moronic. That team doesn't know what they're looking at. Oh, hold on. I got to open the phone line. I'm sorry. Okay, we should be good. I'm sorry about that. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
We won't be here too long on this one. I just wanted to come in here and do an initial live stream. We'll be doing more of another breakdown later today. BBQ dropping $100 hauler. Everybody's pretty.
Smitty, everybody's pretty. $100+ I don't even know why they're getting ditty.
Let him cook.
BBQ, you have once again stepped up to be the monster that you're born to be, young man. Appreciate all my Rumblers, FDX, Mikey, Aldi. You guys rock over there on Rumble Land. BBQ says, is it me or are we in a situation where the depth at running back from year 2+ players and elite running backs will provide value? Let me add Travis real quick. At ADP, unlike we've seen in a long time. Yes, I think the running back, yes, I do. Love the analysis, Smitty. New web content is a big step forward for the show. Never resting, always innovating. If anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, the new website is up. The fantasyfootballshow.com has been revamped. I've got a draft simulator. The trade calculator has been enhanced times 1,000. It's you can it's so you don't even, if you think the old trade calculator was fun, this is like, there's nothing like this trade calculator in the business, period. And there's nothing like the draft simulator in the business, period. And there's nothing like the lineup analyzer calculator, period. Those are all up to test right now on thefantasyfootballshow.com. So go check it out. Thank you, BBQ. But yes, situation where the depth at running back from year 2+ players and elite running back rookies will provide value at ADP. This is a very good I don't know that we'll have, there's not enough landing spots to have like a bucket full of rookie running backs delivering this year. So we're probably only going to get about 2 or 3. We'll get 2. It's going to be Washington and Love. But we're probably, maybe getting another one. Could there be 4? Yeah, I could see 4 running backs contributing. I mean, especially if someone goes to a shaky spot and then they do amazing. But it's one of those things where it's like you never know where someone's going to emerge. A guy like Price goes somewhere like Minnesota, or he goes to a place like Washington later. Something happens, he slips and he goes to Washington and everyone's like, well, is Bill going to be the guy? And then he takes over. Like there's going to be at least 3 running backs, I think. We'll call it 3 that become super relevant, 2 of which feel like locks in Washington and Love. You never know with landing spots, but I think Washington made his bed and he's going to sleep in it nicely. I think he's going to sleep in it real nicely.
Let him cook.
But the between the rookie class from last year, the running backs are just amazing. You know what the thing that I think kind of mirrors what you're saying here is when you do dynasty and redraft rankings, there's not much of a difference. They're almost identical because it's the new wave of everything is coming and swept the league, clean. You have Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, a couple older dogs. But just a few. There's not even a lot. It's only like 5-6 guys feel like they're falling out of the top like 20 when you do a dynasty ranking versus a rookie ranking or versus a dynasty ranking versus a redraft ranking. It's crazy. BBQ, thank you for the $100 hauler. You absolute monster. You.
I smell meatloaf.
Travis, you're live.
Hey, how's it going?
It's good, bro.
Yeah, I'm pumped for Washington because we talked about him from the first Dynasty show on rookie running backs we did. And,
yeah.
And I mean, I'll find the clip. I know it's all right. Big Profit doubts me, but when we were making
what do you mean Big Profit doubt? What do you mean Big Profit doubt?
I thought he could be the RB2, and I don't know. He doesn't believe I said it, I guess, but it is what it is. And you were talking about him having the potential too. We were talking about
Profit.
He cleaned up his fumbles. He can be right.
Profit, don't
for RB2.
Profit, don't do that. Don't do that. You're gonna embarrass yourself. Stop. Yeah, this is they're the thing about the running back too that we talked about is they're so close. It's really going to be situation dependent, and situation includes combine and landing spot situation dependent. Price really moved up the board for everybody as well. So Price has a chance to land in the second best spot and still become the number 2 running back. So we have to be very clear that keep calling Parker Washington, P-Wash, M-Wash, Mike Washington has the ability to remain the running back 2 of this class, but Price still has a real nice shot at probably being a team's 2 or 3 and then getting thus the second best landing spot. So, this is going to be, everybody drop the Washington emoji, please, the soap in the live chat, 30 seconds worth. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I had him too walking into this combine, but we had him in the conversation. I didn't rank him second, like locked in. But Travis has been on here talking about it. Whenever we're talking about the rookie running backs, we mention Washington, and there's a reason. And you saw the reason today unfold in front of your face. And now he's going to be on everyone's radar. But you're going to hear a lot of people talk about him for the first time. Like, Prophet, you're trying to insinuate, I guess, but you're wrong if you are trying to insinuate that, because we've talked about him several times, bro. But it is also still February 28th. You don't have to be late on this. It's February 28th. If he climbs to your rookie running back 2 on February 28th, do you feel like you're behind the game, or do you feel like you're at the forefront of the game? Because according to My calendar, February 28th, is really far away from September.
The Moon Men.
Yeah.
Dropping loads in outer space.
You know, I'm not knocking anybody, but even people in the chat didn't know who he was, you know, so you're really early to that.
Yeah, let's not.
I understand if some people didn't know who he was, you know.
Yeah, it's fine.
Everyone's not digging into these guys,
No, that's why they watch.
6-10 guys deep, so. Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's why they watch. You watch, like some people don't have time. That's why they watch the show is here to provide every level of knowledge, whether it's to the most experienced fantasy player and they just want a little edge, to somebody that's like, I'm really good at this, but I don't have time, so I need your help to fill in the gaps, to the people that are, you know, really not paying much attention at all. And they're like, I'm just going to draft off your rankings, Smitty. We have every level of that kind of fantasy player in here, and that's fine. But I just want to make it known to everybody that has that adverse feeling toward like bandwagoning, you know, being a bandwagoner, you know, like, oh, well, everybody's on them already. It's February 28th. You're at the forefront. This is like, okay, Bitcoin was pennies, right? And then it became worth like $1. Getting in on Mike Washington now is like when Bitcoin went from pennies to $1 and then it went to $100,000. You know, now it's dropping to 60, but that's the difference of like mentality. Like, don't think, oh, I have a little adverse reaction because everybody's talking about him right. Some people hate trendy things. He's just gone from pennies to $1. He still could go from $1 to $100,000. Okay, that's how much upside is there for M. Wash.
Yeah, and you know, everyone's running really fast 40s now and this and that, and the guy on the combine made a good point though, saying that overall the fastest, all the positions are the fastest ever, and he said, well, at the same time, anyone who's slow isn't going to run. So you know, it's a mix because these guys are getting faster for sure.
Yeah,
but that average that they're putting out there, you're going to see all the highlights of, you know, fastest class ever. It's hard to tell. You know?
And Jeremiah Love did not need to do a single thing. He didn't need to lift a finger. And he went out there and competed. And that's what I want on my team. Like that to me showed me so much. I mean, geez, man, to go out there and not need to do a thing. You're already a top 10 pick. You put your cojones on the table. He goes out there and does all these gymnastics flips. He was at the end. He was doing like, you know, the hand over feet flips, and then does this like final like backflip at the end. And the announcers were, commentators were like, "Who's that? Who's that?" And like, Jeremiah Love. Way to end it, Jeremiah Love. Like, he's so athletic. He's so athletic, man. The way he moves on the field, he's Bijan Robinson. He's Bijan Robinson. You may not want to accept it for whatever reason, or you come in here and say, Smitty, you can't say that. I can say whatever the hell I want because I claim to be the highest on Bijan in the fantasy land. Why can I claim that? Because I had to take an L. And some will say, Smitty, you didn't take an L his rookie year. He's number 9. I did take an L. His rookie year, Bijan Robinson, I said would be running back 1, 2, or 3. He was number 9. I took an L. If I'm going to claim to be the highest on Bijan, I got to take the L on the rookie season. But if anybody could say that this is the next Bijan, this is the next Gibbs, this is the next, I'm not saying he is Achane, but I'm just in reference to players we've called. We get to say it. Why? Because we said it when it was something else. When it was, hey, I think Bijan could be the next Christian McCaffrey. You can't say that about Christian McCaffrey. And then here we are. Now we're saying he's the next Bijan, and the same people come at me and go, you can't call him the next Bijan. Yes, I can. I did, and I will. Thank you, Rumble. Appreciate you. Go ahead.
I was just going to say in the chat, Husseini said, you know, he truly believes Love is coming to KC, which is, you know, a definite possibility.
Yeah.
But, you know, with the way he looked and then the way the hype builds and you know, we'll see what the wide receivers do and stuff. He may go earlier than 9 in this draft.
Husseini, here's the problem is if he didn't compete in the combine, he probably would go in the 7 to 10, maybe 7 to 12 territory. Actually, 7 to 12. We'll just say a team trades up. But unfortunately, his combine rose his stock so much that the absolute floor now is KC at 9 and his probably ceiling draft slot. So unfortunately for KC to get him, he's got to fall to the very last spot of his range of outcomes to land with a team. That's the unfortunate part. The fortunate part is if all these teams pass, it does feel like KC is probably more locked in than ever to take him.
Yeah.
But the odds of him falling to 9 now probably are not even 50%. But that's still a good number. I mean, if he did fall, it would be an awesome day for you. But today's combine affair and Big Profit, I don't know what Big Profit's saying there because it seems like he's positive about it. Maybe he's just saying it against Travis.
No, he's good. We're good.
Okay, Travis did. Yeah. I'll vouch for Travis. Travis is talking. If I remember correctly, Travis brought him up when I was doing the ranking and saying, "Where do you have Washington?" Which triggered probably one of our earlier conversations about it. Just to put Travis's name out there on that. I mean, I'm telling you, Prophet, I'll vouch for it. But Big Prophet says nobody was on Mike Washington. This show is the only show that has mentioned him and had him top 5. And again, I just to be very honest and upfront, I wasn't even slotting him 5. I was slotting him as a guy that could get into the top 5, which clearly he did. You know, that's where it was. It was Emmett Johnson. It was Jadarian Price. It was also Jonah Coleman. Those have been the 3 guys that are trying to vie for the number 2 spot. And then you have Washington, who's potentially going to breach that group and could overtake it completely and become the 2. And that's what Travis is saying. And this is what was needed for him to go out and explode. And he went out and exploded. Not only did he go out and explode and become the number 1 running back on this board from a speed perspective on the 40, but his Madden projected speed score 95. That's crazy. That's awesome. But he goes out there, M. Wash goes out there, look at this, 6'1", 223, just monster. Goes out there and has a 1.51 10-yard split. He has a 4.33 40-yard dash. He has a 99 percentile, speed score and burst score. 99 percentile. Like, this guy is electric. And there's just no way to really describe him other than a unicorn. Like, Washington is a unicorn. And if you watch his film, which is why we're even on him walking into the combine, he looks so good on film. And the crazy part is everybody that's going to go back and watch it, I do urge you to. And again, you don't have to feel late to the party. It's February 28th. You're not late to the party. Again, you're jumping on Bitcoin when it was $1 instead of pennies, and it's about to go to $100,000 or $60,000 now. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not late to the party. Don't ever let that influence you. People are weird about that. They're like, I'm late to the party. I don't want to be on the train. Get on the train now because it's still very, very early. It hasn't even left the station yet. The train's just stocking up and ready to go. But he's not going to be as big of a steal as he was. But there are going to be a lot of people that still doubt him. There'll be a lot of people that love him. There's still a lot of room for improvement on his ADP. His ADP on Underdog, promo code Smitty. If you want to draft a big board, use code Smitty. They'll match your first deposit 50% all the way up to $1,000. I imagine his ADP will climb. I don't know. It could even go like 4 rounds or 5 rounds. It could go crazy, but it would still put him in a very good territory of now you're getting him. Let's just say it went to like round 8 or 9. You're still getting a player that might be a running back 1 for his team and a top 10 running back. So the upside's still tremendous. And we'll see where he goes tonight when we draft. But yeah, Joe Burst is 99% crazy. 99% burst score, 99 percentile in speed score. Washington was the fastest running back on the field. And that's saying something when Jeremiah Love's on the field and runs a 4.36. And I'm telling you, Jeremiah Love is Bijan Robinson. Jeremiah Love, this is why I came out and did the video roughly 48 hours ago. It said, guys, now is the time. because I did it before the Friday interviews because I didn't want people to be so impressed by the way this young man communicates his game and his expectations and everything. So I did it. I did a video, even though he's been on the Saturn or the Jupiter board all offseason.
The Jupiter men, Jupiter.
He's been here, but I wanted to do one more last video just to hammer home the point and just say, you want something bold? I'm going to say something extremely bold to get your attention. He's a top 3 running back, Dynasty and redraft. Not the most well-received video. I got a few DMs like, bro, you need to calm down on rookies. Look, it is what it is. You either recognize it or you start making excuses as to why it can't be Jeremiah Love or why rookies get held back, or use examples that have nothing to do with Jeremiah Love, like Henderson and Harvey and Genty. Oh my God. Yeah, didn't you? This is what the casual, uneducated response is. Didn't you say that about Genty? Or what about the usage on Harvey? Or rookies don't get used properly. Or what about last year? Those have nothing to do with this man. Nothing. Nothing to do with him. Nothing.
You know what I like about Love too, and normally I'm not a fan of players doing the backflips and this and that, but you can see Love has confidence in himself and like knows he's that good. And I don't know if you saw at the end of the workouts as he was going out, he just had a backflip into the end zone and kind of just, he has that, confidence about him too, which is nice.
Yeah, Price does. Yeah, I agree. Price does look good too, Matto. I agree with you too. BBQ,
Yeah.
Another super chat real quickly. BBQ to the moon.
I smell meatloaf.
BBQ says, I find investing and trading and the fantasy mindset to be so similar, which is what I like about this show and how I approach fantasy football. And I agree, that's how I do approach everything like the stock market. And it truly is. And there is a it's funny you say that. I don't really want to ruin anything, but there might be something like that hitting the fantasyfootballshow.com too. I'm working on a tool for that, by the way. But yes, BBQ, you're right. And that's the way we look at it. It's like up and down, buy low, sell high, when to get out, when to get in. That's all it is. And I think that if you can master that to the best degree, and then it really is honing in on your skill to identify it, though. Just because you're good at buying low and selling high in general doesn't mean if your evaluation of the prospect isn't correct and it goes down, then, so but it really is tweaking all that. But once you get a feel on the likelihoods of disaster for a situation that looks promising, like for example Love, you look at Genty and Love, they both came out of college looking like guaranteed locks, and Genty didn't deliver. Now you could say, well, that was obvious because the Raiders were bad, and you'd be right in that we overlooked the Raiders situation. I've admitted that 100,000 times. The fact that I thought Pete Carroll was going to be able to figure this out I'm mad at myself for that. But I do believe right now they have the right situation. So everything I said about his rookie year is going to come true this year, I believe. Now, you could say that there's a running back by committee situation and fear. That is also something we need to absorb and not just ignore. Like we like the one thing that I always tell you guys, everybody has a weakness. You always want to work on your weaknesses. And I'm trying to consider situation a little more than normal versus letting talent just completely overwhelm my take, which I don't think it leads to very many disasters, but it is one of those things that I identify and say, look, if I can hone in on this and get better and better and better, this will be not a strength sometimes, and sometimes I'll miss something. It will become an absolute, superpower. So that's what everybody should be identifying in their fantasy football game. What is your weakness? What is your strength? What can you work on? And I'm trying to not allow my love for Achane, for Bijan, for Genty to make me ignore some signs that are concerning, like the running back by committee commentary by Kubiak. But we've broken that down, and I'll still have an open mind to evaluate that and get more concerned or allow myself to get more concerned. But this is why Love passes Genty by a hair, but they're still amazing, and Genty's still capable of being, the third or second best running back in the class, or I'm sorry, in the entire NFL player pool. But Love is got a fast track to surpass even Genty because he's probably going to an elite spot because he's a top 9 lock. And he just does everything. And not that Genty doesn't do everything well. Love does everything well. It's Genty's very, very good at certain things, and then he's elite at certain things. This guy's practically elite at everything, and I do have Love ahead of Genty. I think Love's situation and his skill set and everything is slightly ahead of Genty. This is my number 3 running back in fantasy football, redraft, and dynasty, period. I will draft this guy as high as I need to. Even if I'm on the clock and I'm sitting there and Christian McCaffrey's there and Love's there and I'm drafting at that height, I'm not going to just take McCaffrey because the ADP says so. I'm taking Jeremiah Love. If I'm sitting there and it's JT and Jeremiah Love, I'm taking Jeremiah Love. So I don't mind reaching at that point. Travis, I do have to do a hard stop here in a second, so go ahead and say, close it out with whatever you want, and then we're going to jump out, and then we're going to come back tonight.
Yeah, just the last couple of things. With Price, I'm seeing a lot of split stuff. I think he looked really good.
Looked great.
Some people are concerned about his 40, which was a little slower than they thought, and his weight, which was a little lower than they thought. But he probably dropped that weight for his 40, which I guess you could say is concerning because he didn't run the fastest 40 that he wanted to. But
yeah,
he'll probably be closer to like 210, 215.
His field work was great. His field work was great. Yes.
Yeah, and his mechanics and everything, he's smooth. So, and then just on Washington, if you look at his, pass catching, he's really good there too. He had like 28 catches for 226 or something his last year in college. So, he's a complete bat.
Yeah.
It's not just one of these grinders. So, definitely excited for him. Look forward to it. But I'll jump, Smitty.
All right, thanks, Travis.
It.
We'll see you tonight.
Bye.
All right, guys, we're out of here. Big Profit dropping a super. Thank you, Big Profit, for dropping that.
I smell meatloaf.
Profit says, what about Sadiq? We did a whole live stream on Sadiq, bro. He's potentially number 3 capable tight end. Go watch last night's live stream, or we talk about Sadiq. But yes, Sadiq was unbelievable, and he looks so good. This class is fantastic. Remember, everybody, this class isn't very, it's not as good as it could be, or this class isn't that impressive. The running backs, aside from Love, aren't that good. I don't know if I love this class. Tyson, Tate, M. Wash, Love, Sadiq. This class is phenomenal. It's a phenomenal class. Trade all your picks for 2027s. That's what the other show told you to do. It might as well just get any 2027. Doesn't even matter if it's late. Trade your early 2026s for random blindly go get 2027s. That's what I think you should probably, I don't know. That's what I would do. What do you think, Steve? Oh, I agree, Bob. Guys, we did it. It's official. Moon Man Extraordinaire.
Moon Man. Dropping low.
And has he's been listed all offseason.
The Jupiter Men.
My 2 top rookie running backs. See you all later tonight. Thank you all for the super chats. Appreciate BBQ dropping the $100 hauler. And then Big Profit says, so you would trade 1.5 for 1.11 and 1.12? Or hell no. Bro, the 1.11 and 1.12 do nothing. I mean, I'd take those picks. I like picks, but the 1.5 is by far and away more valuable. I've zero interest in trying to move down the draft. I want to move up. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you, Rumblers. Appreciate you over on the Rumble side of the fence. Gannon, where you been? Gannon's, appreciate you. Mikey, appreciate you, Mikey. FDX, appreciate you. Aldi in the building. Landman, if you're out there. New Age Outlaw, appreciate you if you're out there. Go follow the Rumble channel. The channel is in the description of the video. Rumble, we're at 4.93K. We're about to hit 5K on Rumble, which is so exciting. See you all later tonight.